Church, it's been a while. I haven't asked you to do anything weird for like 3 months, so it's time. So I need everyone on Zoom as well as in person to do this with your hand, like a little circle and a point, and to move your arm in this weird motion like this. Oh, good job. Good job. I want that person that you're pointing to know how thankful I am for you, for who you are and how you are and all that you have done and trusted and been patient with over these last 12 weeks, for who you are to our community, who you are to your family, and who you are to God and our world. I'm thankful for your heart and for your flexibility and for your boundaries and for your stories and for your faith. Thank you. Okay, now I want you to stop doing it. Come on. Now I want you to take that and to move it forward a little bit and kind of go like this. And the other one, take another one too and kind of go like this. Now, even if you're on Zoom, you might have to go to gallery view in the Brady Bunch style that Tim had for you all last week. So you can see who you're pointing at and look at the people that you're pointing at. And if you're not pointing at someone, you might have to contort a little bit. I want you to know how thankful I am for those people that you are pointing at. I'm thankful for who they are and how they are and what they have done and said and taught and forgiven and contributed and dreamed and held in these past 12 weeks and also long before that. Look at them and thank them. Help me to thank them. I know so many of you stepped up in so many ways these past 12 weeks, and I am thankful for all of it, for the gift of time and trust that you put in me and in your leaders and in each other, and most importantly, in God. Thank you. Will you pray with me? Holy God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. I know you all want to know what I did on my sabbatical. There is too much to name, but I will tell you that I did read, I did travel, I did play, I did rest, and I did laundry. So much laundry. I don't know if my kids just decided to change clothes 3 times a day because they were afraid I would get bored, or maybe my neighbors were like sneaking dirty clothes into the house. I ended deciding that the socks started having babies. I don't know what it was, but it was a lot, which is to say that there is no sabbatical from motherhood, which is a lot of work, but also an immense gift to spend time with my family and waste time in the best way with my family. But even still, even with all that laundry, I come to you today renewed. I thought about, am I supposed to show up in a Hawaiian shirt so I can look as chill as I might feel? I thought about convincing the tech team to put the spotlight on me. Remember when on Epiphany Sunday, when our camera was new and I was glowing, so that you'd all be like, oh, good, she's glowing after her sabbatical. But I have to tell you, I learned some things about myself over this summer. When I return from an adventure, I don't just collapse, I get moving. My family and I went on a 24-day road trip, 24 days, 3,000 or some odd miles. And when we returned home that last day, after a 7.5-hour drive and the full 24 days of being gone, I stepped into my house, I kissed the floor, and then I cleaned out the refrigerator. Really, in the first hour of being home. That happened a few other times during sabbatical, and it happened this week as well. I arrived at church Monday morning to 2 of your beautiful faces greeting me before I was even in the door, and I got to my desk and I started planning Christmas. So I might not be fully glowing. Maybe that light has dimmed a little, or what did by Wednesday, but I am thankful and excited and hopeful and ready to be here and to see you all and to be in ministry with you again. Again, that is a strange part of this moment in time, and also for my sabbatical, that word again. To be in ministry with you again. When I say that, of course, I mean stepping back after the past 12 weeks, but also we haven't really been together for 17 months. A few moments ago was the first time I heard the gathered community say the Lord's Prayer, except for when we did it on Zoom that one time and it was beautiful chaos. But in no way do I want to say that what we've done these last 17 months haven't been life-giving and vibrant and deep and relational ministry, because of course it has. But also, we are in this season of opening the world, thanks to vaccinations, but doing it carefully and intentionally, especially with the Delta variant. There are plans underway of returning to live music and children's programming, to church in ways we knew before March 2020. We will get to come back again, but things are not as they were before. Not for me, not for you, not for the Kirk, not in your faith development, not for our church at large, not for our country, not for our world. And there are parts of that that are both painful and beautiful and hopeful and annoying. You know, when you return to a place you knew in your childhood and it seems smaller than when you saw it last, but it's just because you are so much bigger. Or you see something that you have in your memory and it has changed so much, but it reminds you that you too have changed since you saw it last. That happened to me this week. It felt perfectly normal to jump in my car and drive to the Kirk on Monday morning. And then I got to my turn on Colorado and Arizona, and there was a huge median in the middle of the road. I guess you can't go back again. And that's okay. Over the past 3 months, I thought about you all a lot and about us a lot. But because I was away, I wasn't getting bogged down with the small questions like who will be our lay reader next Sunday. There's a sign-up sheet in the back, just so you all know. What the sign out front should say. Who's going to run our tech? We need volunteers for that too. But instead, I got the opportunity to ask the bigger questions. What is the purpose of church? What is the purpose of the Kirk, of my ministry at the Kirk? What are our gifts? How have we lost the forest for the trees or lost the trees for the forest? How is God calling us now? Where and why are we called? Which I know you all spent the summer exploring your call as well with Reverend Sandra Tilsley. And I hope you saw in the Thursday email, we are collecting cards to thank her for her ministry with us. But to all these questions I was asking, some of them, I think I have some answers, some wisdom, some clarity, some hope and dreams. And some questions remain meaningful and centering questions. But really, I realize that I am not the only one going back again. And so we are beginning a sermon series today that will last over the next few months called Re-Church. I get to make up words. That's just how it works. As things change, and change probably again, and probably again, we will ask these questions as we return, as we re-church. We'll ask, what is church? What do we want or need of church? Why do we church? How do we church? What is God calling us to do or to ask or to wonder about or to create or to support or to let go of? We will dive into these questions focused on the prefix RE, which has in its meaning this idea of again. Different Sundays will focus on return, renew today, resolve, remember, recover, rejoice, relate, react, stewardship. I think John got into my notes. These words are all around us right now. Greg and I met this week, and after I explained to him what this sermon series would be, we all of a sudden started noticing every time one of these words that starts with RE came into our conversation again and again. And I invite you to do that as well. Notice when you say recommit or rethink or review or revise. Pay attention when that happens in normal conversation. Write it down. Send them to me. I want to hear what you're talking about. And they might not all be about church, but actually they will be, because what we do here informs everything we do every other moment of the day. I knew that. I've always known that. You know that. But sometimes we have to be reminded. When I wrote that, I didn't even do that on purpose. That is what today's text is about. Isaiah asks, have you not known? Have you not heard? I love these questions because they are questions of renewal. A few lines later, Isaiah will say, those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Renew. That's your expectation of me, I believe, post-sabbatical, that I am renewed. And you are not wrong. I am, not necessarily from the 3,000-mile drive or the laundry, but from remembering what I know, what I have heard and seen and felt and grieved and wondered and dreamed about spirit, about church and community and family and faith. As I took a step back, I was able to see with clarity the way that what we do together informs everything else. I didn't step foot inside our church for 12 weeks, but you were with me every day. Our mission guided me. Our commitments to LGBTQ equality, anti-racism, and green justice provided me lenses to look at the world and to engage with it no matter where I found myself. Have you not known? Have you not heard? Renewal is not about starting or birthing or creating. It is about making new again, which is exactly what our God does. We serve a God who makes all things new. But within that truth, there is this assumption for the Israelites that we're reading about in Isaiah that what is new for them is actually old, which doesn't sound so exciting unless we shift that word a little bit to make it sound cooler and say ancient. That's trendy, right? That which is ancient. When we bring it into our lives, it feels new to us again. Have you not known? Have you not heard? This past Tuesday, one day post-sabbatical, was my 7-year anniversary as pastor of the Kirk of Bonnie Bray. Reading Isaiah's questions reminded me of something that I said in my earliest conversations with the Kirk. And so I dug out my file in the office and just to make sure I was right and read my search and call papers, which were your first introduction, the search committee's first introduction to me, which then led to a phone call, to an interview and a visit, to a sermon and a vote and a call. And in those first papers, I quoted a mentor of mine who had taught me that we can only hear what we in some way already know. After the past 7 years, I say that with a bit more hesitation, as this could lead to some kind of toxic confirmation bias that I didn't know or understand 7 years ago. But I know that that quote is deeper than that. When we are renewed, we are open and discerning and able to see the good in what was and where it does or doesn't fit in the present and the emerging future, which we call the kingdom of God. When we are renewed, we are attentive to the ways justice rolls down and love is abundant. We are not weary, we are equipped. So those famous words in today's text that are recited and sung, those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. These words are telling us not that we have to keep going or get back to what was, but instead to renew ourselves, we must wait for God. Other translations say hope in God. The Hebrew word is kawa, which originally means twisting or plaiting strands together like making a rope. And you do that, right? You twist strands together so that the small pieces that we know will break and that we know will fray will remain a part of the whole. And then there will be strength. One preacher said of it, strength in the binding. Strength in the binding we know in families and friendship and relationships with one another and as church. We come together as church, online or in person or over coffee or over Zoom with coffee to wait on God, to renew our strength so that we are ready for whatever the world has in store for us, the broken and the beautiful. These words, this text from Isaiah is written in a place where we understand more than we ever thought we could or would. The Israelites have been in exile. They have been cast out of the land. They have been cast out of the life that they knew. And they are weary because they're not living in the world as they think and know it should be. Sound familiar? What we are hearing in this text is a call to renewal, not after they return to Jerusalem, but before. I think we have waited so long to go back again to what was. And yet this text is calling for renewal, for waiting on God, hope in the present, for the twisting, the binding ourselves to God and each other now. Renewal in the present. Yesterday, Ellie and Lisa and I and Mickey were at Reverend Chris Gilmore, our beloved friend, and his new wife, Christine's wedding. And it was such an amazing experience to share in that joyful service. But as a part of that service, they did a Celtic ritual of binding. It's where the expression tying the knot comes from. I was able to offer a version of this when I officiated Claire and Colin's wedding a few years ago. But they did it a little bit differently. As a part of the service, they were asked, Chris, will you hurt Christine? And the response was, I may, but that is not my intention. Will you seek forgiveness? And he said, I will. Christine, will you anger Chris? I may, but that is not my intention. Will you always return to love? I will. And with each promise they made, another ribbon was placed over their connected hands. The binding was secured. Again and again, ribbon after ribbon, more honesty was spoken along with vows to forgive and laugh and support and honor. These two already knew that pain accompanied love, that anger existed with passion, and in that knowing, their binding was all the more powerful. And so may we twist the strands of our questions and our failures and our doubts and our hope and our love and our frustration and our weariness and our inspiration and our gratitude, twist them together for ourselves, and then we will do it as a church because we have heard, we have known that there is strength in binding. Mark, I want to invite you to come up. Grab the microphone from Jackie as you come. So, church, during worship on May 17th, we offered each other a sending blessing, where you blessed me and I blessed you, and we offered our prayers to each other and for each other. And today, I return to my role as your pastor and celebrating our 7 years together. It is time to renew our commitment to each other, you and me, you to each other, and all of us to God.
Representing all of you in this renewal of our covenant together, Selena has made the grievous error of allowing me to speak first. And I'm going to go off script for 30 seconds and take advantage of that. I appreciated the thank you that Selena gave all of us at the start of her message today. And as a representative of the council and of our church family, I want to echo that. We set a goal before Selena left on her sabbatical to thrive, not just survive. We may not have thrived in every single endeavor, but we certainly did significantly more than survive in every single endeavor that we did. And so part of renewing covenants is to acknowledge where we've been. And I want to add my thanks to all of you who helped us thrive during Selena's absence, whether it be adult programming or music or the children's programming, the special services that members of the church did, the property that was taken care of, the lawn that was taken care of, the food truck nights, the mission projects. I'm sure I've forgotten a half a dozen, but I was not 3,000 miles away. I was here doing the laundry with you, and it was great. And I acknowledge all of you, recognize all of you, and thank all of you. And with that acknowledgement of the past, I'm ready to get on script now and start with the renewal of our covenant with our beloved pastor. So Selena, will you renew your covenant with us as you return from your sabbatical and begin your 8th year of ministering to us? Will you renew your covenant with the Kirk of Bonnie Bray, the United Church of Christ, your church family, our church family, and the friends of that church family? And will you endeavor and affirm that you will minister to us, that you will teach us, guide us, nurture us, pastor us, and support us inside of this building, around our community, and through the technology of being a virtual congregation? Will you do that for us?
I will, with the help of God. I renew my covenant and affirm my call to the people and ministries of Kirk of Bonnie Bray United Church of Christ. I again promise to serve the church faithfully, preaching and teaching the word of God, administering the sacraments, fulfilling the pastoral office according to the faith and order of the UCC. And I promise anew to take risks with you, to learn from you and with you, to laugh with you, and to pursue depth in relationship with God and our earth and each other through engaged faith and social justice. And now, church, I turn to you and I will ask you all to renew your covenant as well. It will be on the screen. I thought about making everyone stand up and like do the twist because of like the twisting in the word, but I figured the pointing was enough for today. I do invite you to join together to reaffirm our covenant one to another. We Amen. I doubt any of you will remember, but for those of you that were around when I began my ministry with the Kirk, my first Sunday was August 10th, but we did not hold my installation service until January during a Bronco playoff game of all times, which I'm sure some people were like, oh, I remember, which showed your commitment to come even in the midst of that. But at that service, so we had gotten to know each other a little bit between August 10th and that day in January. And so different people speak at that installation service, but I was able to offer the communion meditation, as is the tradition. And at the beginning of that communion meditation, I said, what a joy it is to celebrate what already exists. That has never been more true. What a joy it is to celebrate the ministry that already exists, knowing that our God is always making things new and giving me permission to make up new words. So, church, I am thankful for you and for the ministry that we know and that we have and that is emerging is always emerging in us and through us. Will you pray with me? God, Isaiah asks us, have you not known and have you not heard? God, we know and we have heard the power of your call of your church, the relationships that are born and thrive, the power of music, the love of children, the gift of the earth, all that is church to us. But after 17 months of loving each other at a distance, God, we ask that you renew our understanding, renew our faith, renew our community. Bless the covenants we have renewed today. Guide us not to be the church we were 7 years ago, nor 74 years ago at our founding, or even 12 weeks ago, but help us to call us and open us to your call. Challenge us and equip us for those challenges. Inspire us and guide us to recall what we already know of your love and grace, which compels us to be co-creators of your kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. With abundant joy, O God, hear this prayer, and may we be renewed each day through your Spirit. In your holy name we pray. Amen.